probably one of the brightest, quickest-witted, earnestly socialist men I've ever met in my life.
In the mid-1970s, David Bowie was living in New York City, feeling creatively restless after his Diamond Dogs tour. He had recently released his album Young Americans and was exploring a new direction in his music, incorporating elements of funk, soul, and R&B. Meanwhile, John Lennon was also living in the city, taking a break from his solo career and enjoying a period of domestic bliss with his wife Yoko Ono. Paul McCartney, on the other hand, was busy promoting his band Wings and preparing for their upcoming tour. One night, Bowie and Lennon crossed paths at a party hosted by producer Tony Visconti. They hit it off immediately, bonding over their shared interest in music and art. Bowie played some tracks from his new album, which impressed Lennon, and they talked about collaborating on a song or two. The idea of forming a more serious partnership also came up, but it was more of a passing thought at the time. Bowie had already been a longtime admirer of John Lennon, and once said of the legendary Beatles member, "He was one of the major influences on my music life. I just thought he was the very best of what could be done with rock and roll, and also ideas." A few weeks later, Bowie invited Lennon to the studio where he was recording Young Americans and introduced him to his band. They jammed together for a while, with Lennon playing guitar and adding some vocal harmonies. Bowie was impressed by Lennon's talent and easygoing nature, and they quickly became friends. One night, McCartney came to visit Lennon in New York. The two of them had been out on the town that evening, and when the night came to an end, they decided to visit a friend. As Bowie recalled the situation, it was New York around 1974. I think it was around the first time they had gotten back together again. And I got a knock at the door at the Pierre Hotel where I had taken over a suite for months and months. It was about 3 in the morning and John was there and he had Paul with him. The three legends spent the evening talking, and during the conversation there was a suggestion of forming a trio together. Bowie further stated that they even came up with a name for the group, David Bowie and the Beatles, as they liked the sound of DBB. Sadly, this beautiful dream suffered the same outcome as many other great ideas that are conceived at 3 a.m. in the morning. As H.G. Wells wrote in The Time Machine, "It sounds plausible enough tonight, but wait until tomorrow for the common sense of the morning." And so it was, with Bowie recalling, "But, you know, the next morning it just never came to anything." However, the idea of a supergroup may also have proved too difficult to realize due to their individual creative visions and successful solo careers at the time. McCartney was still committed to Wings and had just released their album Venus and Mars. Lennon was planning to release his album Rock and Roll and was also dealing with some legal issues related to his immigration status in the US. Bowie, meanwhile, was exploring his new musical direction and preparing to embark on his station-to-station tour. Despite the logistical challenges, the night they almost formed a supergroup remains a significant moment in rock and roll history, demonstrating the power of music and the influence of these musicians on the world. The chemistry between Bowie, Lennon, and McCartney was undeniable, with their musical styles complementing each other perfectly. Fans continue to imagine what could have been if the supergroup had come to fruition. The idea of a Bowie-Lennon-McCartney collaboration continues to captivate music fans worldwide. But what would a supergroup consisting of Bowie, Lennon, and McCartney actually sound like? It's hard to say, as their music styles were quite different at the time. Bowie was exploring his soulful side and experimenting with dance music, while Lennon was focused on rock and roll and nostalgia. McCartney, for his part, was blending rock, pop, and funk in his music with Wings. However, some clues can be found in their individual work from the time. Bowie's Young Americans album featured a number of funk-infused tracks with catchy hooks and soulful vocals, such as Fame and Somebody Up There Likes Me. Lennon's Walls and Bridges album included the hit single Whatever Gets You Through the Night, a catchy rock number with a guest appearance by Elton John on piano. McCartney's Wings had a string of hits in the mid-70s, including Band on the Run, Live and Let Die, and Jet, which showcased his knack for catchy melodies. Even though we did not come to see this too-good-to-be-true trio forming a supergroup, we've been blessed by some musical partnership between the three. Bowie has covered several of Beatles songs, with Across the Universe maybe being the most famous. On this song, Lennon even helped out with the backing vocals and some guitar parts too. That's it for this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want more stories from the world of music.